Gears with Sasha Martinengo. And you know what? I got to be honest, it was me. I was a complete tonsil and dealt the wrong number. But joining us for the first time on Gears, all the way from the UK, is the one and only, the master of motoring, the man who knows everything about everything. I think he's even cleverer than Stephen Fry. Jeremy Clarkson. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm very well, Sasha. How are you?
I'm very well. It's great to speak to you. I know you're a really, really busy guy.
Not really, actually. I'm being interviewed by David Frost this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
the most exciting thing ever on Al Jazeera.
Wow. And what are you going to be talking about, if I may ask?
I have no idea. Hopefully not Watergate, because I don't know anything about it.
Was most probably one of the few things you don't know anything about.
I know there was somebody called Deep Throat and there was a hotel and that's it. So I've no idea what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, and there were a couple of guys looking through a window, as far as I can remember. Something like that. Something like that.
Exactly.
Jeremy, great to speak to you as always. I want to bring up a little bit. I want to bring up something that happened, I think, Top Gear 17, which still to me is one of the most extraordinary things you ever pulled off. And that was...
What was that?
And that was you, James, and Richard driving super hatchback mini cars around the Monaco street circuit on the weekend of a Grand Prix.
I couldn't believe that happened. I absolutely couldn't believe that Bernie Eccleston, when asked, can we, while the track is closed, while the roads are closed, can we, on our pokey motoring show, drive around? And he said... yeah, sure. And then, even more amazingly, when we said, how much do we owe you? He said, nothing.
That to me still one. I mean, I've got it on PVR here, and I watch it over and over again, and I sit there and I think, how? I mean, I know that you have massive influence, Jeremy, but you know, to be able to sit there and get Bernie to sit there and say, "Oh no, it's fine. You can go there, and if you crash, it's okay. We'll pick up the pieces, and you know, the guys will come out for their test afterwards." It's just one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen.
No, it was incredible, and what was even more amazing is, for some reason, he wouldn't allow. We wanted to be trained. I mean, James and Richard, who A, can't drive very well, and B have no knowledge of motor racing and have never been to Monte Carlo before. They really did need some training, and the idea was that we were going to put Formula One drivers in with them, but Bernie said no, we couldn't do that. Now I have no idea why, and it was at a party the night before we did it on a boat. I can't remember whose boat it was, some enormous great thing. And there was Flavio from Red Bull, whose name has gone from my mind, and Bernie. And Bernie said, well, we'll do it. I just thought he never will. But the thing about Bernie Eccleston is when you shake his hand, he does turn up. You know, he just did turn up and do it with us.
He is a remarkable man, Bernie. I must say, the clip of James and Flavio Briatore and Flavio's words, I think, are just hysterical. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. That's all he ever said.
Yeah, break. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That was very funny.
No, I must say, really, really exceptional. There's one thing I've got to tell you. I'm coming over to the UK, but next week, only for a day. I'm not too sure. I know you guys did something big for the Sweeney movie.
We did.
Yeah, I'm coming over there to see Ron Howard, who's shooting this forthcoming movie called Rush. And I don't know if you, which is the 1976 epic season between James Hunt and Niki Lauda. So I think that's going to be extraordinary as well.
It is. It's been produced by a friend of mine, actually, Eric Feldman, who runs Working Title, who's massively keen on anything to do with cars, and was responsible for the Senna documentary. You see.
Yeah, which was exceptional.
It's the greatest documentary even if you have no interest in motor racing and have never heard about Senna, it is a captivating watch. I mean, I showed it to my 13-year-old daughter, who's more interested in spot welding than cars. And she was just sobbing, you know, really sobbing, because it's such a moving thing. I wasn't even a fan particularly of Ayrton Senna. I was a Gilles Villeneuve man. But having watched it, I was really very caught up in it.
Well, I agree with.
they're spending a fortune on Rush. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the car sequences that they've done, I was talking to Eric, and he said that it's really breathtaking. It's absolutely real. They are apparently the real cars of the real people reenacting what actually happened in real races.
I must say, I've been following Ron Howard on Twitter, and the attention to detail that he's going into, I must say, is just phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward, and I'm going to be there on the day where they're on set. They're going to be shooting some of the racing sequences, so that's going to be quite a lot of fun as well. So you never know, maybe we'll bump into you.
Yeah, sadly not. No, I'm not actually going on the set, I don't think.
Okay.
But I may well be in a bar.
Well, then,
if you want to come and have a drink.
I think that would be most appropriate. Now, Jeremy, speaking of cars, we're looking forward to, I got to tell you, there's such a great buzz about Top Gear Festival 2012 down in Durban at Moses Mabhida, as well as the street circuit. People, and you know what, we've had to be hush-hush about, releasing too many details. So I'm hoping that this afternoon you're going to be able to tell us a little bit more about what South Africa can expect from the festival.
It's all still a secret.
Well, there's quite a lot there's a secret.
All I can tell you is, this is the first time we've ever done it. I mean, obviously, we did something very big at Kailani last year. Not that anyone could see any of that, because it poured with rain. And all the grandstands we built out of scaffolding turned into massive electric chairs.
How do I know? I was stuck in a car at like 80 foot.
It was, you were indeed there, and it was wet. Now, Durban, we are assured, is going to be drier. So it will be the usual blend of Top Gear chaos, but with an array of cars that has probably never been seen before anywhere, and certainly not in South Africa. Racing cars, Formula One cars, supercars, drifting cars. And it's a much bigger event than we've put on anywhere else. Because the thing about South Africa we've noticed is the crowds are by far and away the best in the world. And I'm not just saying that because I'm actually, they genuinely are. I mean, the Danes got quite close the other day when we were there, but nothing really rivals performing in South Africa, which is why we keep coming back, because it is just such a buzz. And why we put our biggest and best shows on in South Africa and not anywhere else.
Well, I must say, as I mentioned earlier, there is a great buzz about having the three of you guys back here. And I believe the show that you are putting on is also quite something special.
Is it?
Yes, I've looked at the script.
It is going to be, it better be absolutely fantastic. It's also about the only time that the three of us are working together this year, because there's no Top Gear on this year, so it'll be fun for the three of us to get back together again.
I must say, last year, Jeremy, there was a tremendous tribute to South African motoring legend Jody Scheckter, who's become quite a good friend of yours, I believe. Are we going to be?
He was a hero of mine.
Yeah, very much so. Are we going to be doing something similar, looking at other international heroes or more South African heroes? Can you release any of that?
We have certainly been talking to a number of racing drivers about getting them down there, because obviously it's fantastic if you can have a bona fide Grand Prix driver. I mean, we had David Coulthard last time, which was fantastic, belting around Kailani. So obviously that is very much is being looked at even as we speak.
Brilliant. I'm just trying to think of what else in terms of, it's just always such a treat to have you in South Africa, and the crowds, as you say, I mean, they do respond to Top Gear very, very affectionately over here. It's usually when we've done the shows down here, you usually done it over 5-6 days. This is 2 days, but incredibly intense.
Yeah, well, it's much bigger, obviously. Performing in a great big stadium like that is way bigger than performing at the smaller ones that we've been at in the past. So obviously we can get more people in. So it's a short, intense burst. I think what we've done is we've gone from a small band on an indie record label, we've become AC/DC, that's what it is. It's arena rock, this is.
Are you going to bring Brian Johnson down?
Oh, that would be fantastic. fantastic.
That
We are putting together quite a good list. I think Nick Mason's going to come back out from Pink Floyd.
Phenomenal.
Obviously, talking to all the petrol heads over here, the Rowan Atkinsons and the JKs, because the more of those we can get out there, the better.
Oh, that would be just something very, very special. Jeremy, you know what? It's always great to speak to you. I look forward to seeing you down here June the 16th and 17th, hopefully maybe next week when I'm over in the UK. If I'm there for more than a day, I'll definitely pop up to our local pub.
Yes. Pop over and see me. That would be fantastic. We'll go out, we'll get wide, have a party, be good.
That'll be awesome. Jeremy, it's always great to speak to you, my friend. I look forward to seeing you in June.
In England, and I can't wait to get to Durban. Really, properly looking forward to it.
Terrific. Thank you very much for your time, and have a brilliant weekend.
Well, you too. Take care.
All right. Ciao, ciao. There we go. Jeremy Clarkson. And I'll give you more details about Top Gear Festival a little bit later on during the show, because I've posted up a whole lot of press releases, how you can get tickets, what kind of offers there are, etc., etc. But we'll have more. We'll have Clarkson up on podcast or on YouTube a little bit later on. So my thanks to Jeremy Clarkson, as always. Great to speak to him, and hopefully it gets you very, very excited about Top Gear Festival 2012.